Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. We're diving into the last of a dying breed. That's right, it's Makers Mark BEP 2023 Wood Finishing Series. And BEP, or BEP, however you want to pronounce it, stands for Barrel Entry Proof. So, Maker's Mark Wood Finishing, the reason I said the last of a dying breed, this is the end of the line for the Wood Finishing series. They're closing out this chapter and they're starting something new next year. So if you've been a fan of the Wood Finishing series, I'm sure they'll continue something great, but you may want to pick this up. So, what are we looking at here? First off, beautiful blue label. Finally, my favorite color embossed on Maker's Mark. Thank you, Maker's Mark, for doing something a little more standoutish than the oranges and pale tans you've been doing for a while. This sucker says, proof-wise, 109.6. Compute, 54.8% alcohol by volume. 10 virgin toasted American oak staves. So a lot of the wood finishing series have been American oak or French oak, and you may prefer one or the other. But the American oak is the more patriotic choice, and you would be judged if you preferred the French. Now, tasting notes right on the front of the bottle. You know, you gotta love how Makers just lays it out for you. The proof, the license plate name, and the tasting notes all right here on the front, and the year. No searching the interwebs to figure out what year was that from. It's right here on the bottle. Tasting notes say, an expression with prominent wood sugars, bringing forth strong notes of vanilla, caramel, and sweet spice. Diabetics beware. This sounds like a candy store. Now, on the back, there's a lengthy writing here in the back, but let's see what it has to offer us. With our 2023 Wood Finishing Series release, we're showcasing the influence of our unique 110 barrel entry proof. We go into this lower entry proof to achieve a one-of-a-kind taste profile. To celebrate our special 110 entry proof, we've created an expression that features even more of what you get from a lower entry proof. More wood sugars, more barrel characteristics, and ultimately, a more flavorful sip. Our first chapter, now here's the key part, of the Wood Finishing series has been a way of honoring all the elements that make Maker's Mark. But with this seventh and final expression, we're closing the chapter out with a just as exciting chapter to follow. So there you go. They're telling you in the bottle, goodbye, sayonara, adios amigos. We's on to chapter 2 next year. Now, it is a little bit gimmicky because all of their bourbon is 110 barrel entry proof. So, you know, you might be missiled if you thought they put this in a lower entry proof. They didn't. They just, you know, toasted some staves a little differently to give you more of what you get with the low barrel entry proof. So, hey, I ain't fooling you. You're here for the truth, and you got it tonight. So listen, this bottle was just opened today, but it wasn't the neck pour. Had a little pour earlier. Color. You know, for cast strength, Maker's Mark is just light. I mean, I don't see, you know, where's the depth of color? I just don't see it in Makers, and I don't know why. It's cast strength. What are you doing? Like, put a heavier char on your barrels, for God's sake, you know? Alright, let's give it a nosing. Well, holy caramel. What do we have here? What do we have here? Tons of caramel and vanilla. What's that? Caramelized wood sugars. No, I'm just kidding. You can get that. It's a bunch of caramel. That's what it is. With a nice little hint of oakiness, which is not normal on Maker's Mark wheated bourbon products. Let's take a sip. Whew! Hold your horses. Oh, this is right up my alley. So Starts off with some caramel. Gets a little of that deep, dark barrel characteristics, a little bit of char. And then the finish on this has some oak and char, which is not normal in Maker's Mark. I don't think I've ever had a Maker's Mark product that had like an oakiness to it and a little bit of barrel char. But it's here on the finish. Up front, it's the traditional caramel vanilla, like kind of pop of the wheater. So if you're used to these wood finishing series, you know what I'm talking about. They're all they're different but similar. The first part of this sip, very similar to that. The back end, though, brings what's been missing, I think, from almost all of these in the series. Let's take a second sip. Yeah, that's what we've wanted all along. Why'd you wait till the end, Maker's Mark, to give us what we wanted? It's all caramel and fruit and like vanilla up front. And then as soon as you swallow it, it's like, there's the oakiness with a little bit of barrel char. Boy, that's good. That would be an A rating and a buy. I think, I don't know how they add that little bit of oakiness to it. I'm going to guess that this might be a tad bit older than the previous Maker's Mark wood finishing series. But I don't know that for a fact. I really like this one. Price on this bad boy is $69.99 a bottle here in PA. Just released today. It's like May 11th here when I'm filming this. So May 11th in PA, she released. Used to be $64.99 a bottle last year in PA. But of course, PA had to get us $5 extra. They've been seeming to do that recently. Just kind of, they want to raid their bourbon consumers' wallets a little more here all of a sudden in PA. But they're hitting us for that $5 extra. Still a good value. At $70, it's a fine value. It's delicious. I think this might be my favorite going on memory here. Unfortunately, last year when the BRT series came out, I drank the rest of my older wood finishing series. So had I known they were going to end it in 2023, I probably would have tried to save them. But sorry, no more. So tonight, we got BRT01. 109.4 proof, compute, 54.7% alcohol by volume, 10 virgin toasted American oak staves. So, pretty much the direct comparison. Deep caramelized barrel notes, accented with toastiness and warm finish. So, pretty close in the old description. We'll compare that one for you. And because this channel is no chump, that's not all. BRT02, which was the less patriotic French oak staves, coming in at also 109.4 proof, the same 54.7% alcohol by volume, but it says a dark expression filled with notes of fruit, nut, and chocolate. Let's get those poured up. BRT01, which is our American oak here, with notes of deep caramelized barrel notes and toastiness. Oh yeah, it's far lighter on the nose than the BEP. It's got just a toastiness to it with the caramel. It's like caramel, sweet corn, and toast on the nose, and vanilla. Let's take a sip. That's what it is. It is a caramel explosion with a little bit of toastiness in the back end and some vanilla. Delicious. Yes. Sweeter? Yes. Do I like it more than the BEP? No. I would say the BEP's better. BRT02, which would be our dark chocolate, fruit, and nuts. So, you know, some sort of weird candy bar you find at Target. Oh yeah, that's a little bit darker on the nose. It's all like caramel and choco nut here, with a little bit of fruit. Just what it says. Let's take a sip. So definitely darker. It's kind of like espresso coffee, chocolate, nuts, caramel. But you know what it's missing? The oak from the BEP. I think over time with these bottles, like, again, I'm still torn between the one and the two. They're just different. You know, am I in the mood for a little bit of light caramel party, or am I in the mood for a little bit of dark chocolate? You know, you got to kind of decide. It's the finish that wins it on the BEP. I just prefer that oakiness that comes on the back end there, the palate of the BEP. That's what should have been there all along. So, I would say if you've liked the wood finishing series, but you wish they would add a little bit more age or oakiness to it, this is your answer. It's finally here. It's finally here. If you've collected all of them, I think this is a little bit better than well, from memory, I think this is the best one they've done, but certainly better than 2022's, I will say. So if you've collected all of them, do not stop and miss this one. Pick it up. But that's not all. Whoa! Weller Antique 107 store pick has entered the chat. I couldn't leave you tater boys hanging. So this was just in my video of 10 bourbons I would not rebuy. And a lot of you were upset about that fact. How could you? The Weller Antique 107 is fantastic. It's the best Weller. Some people said to me. Maybe so. But let's see tonight if it competes with the BEP. So this is all strawberry cream. You know, delicious. It's good. It's sweeter. I will say that. You can say, how could it be? It's not. It's sweeter. It's like strawberries and cream on the nose. Strawberries, cream, caramel, vanilla. That's what I'm getting on the nose. Let's take a sip. And that's exactly what it is on the palate. Strawberries, cream, a little bit of caramel, vanilla. It's delicious. It really is. But, as a seasoned bourbon drinker, I prefer a little bit of oak and just bold flavors in my wheated bourbons, in really all my bourbons. So I gotta say the BEP smells like peanut butter now after drinking that. That's weird, isn't it? The BEP's a heavier flavor profile with the added oak. I think it does edge out the Antique 107. Now, if you are a sweet oakless bourbon drinker, you're going to prefer the Antique Weller 107. And if you don't like the Makers profile and you're a Buffalo Trace guy, you might prefer the Antique Weller 107. But my point tonight is this. This store pick Antique Weller 107 that so many of you fight to get is good. But it's not necessarily better than a good Makers wood finishing series. So if you like what we saw tonight, please like, comment, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button, everybody. Have a good evening.